other alumni who have a business, those who are looking at different other things. And then we also want to bring together those of our alumni like Alan Tajina and other people who are in places of renown, Nicholas Opio and so on. That way, we see how best we can connect them to you to inspire and mentor you into achieving what you want to achieve. Instead of us having an amazing alumni, discoordinated and not well organized, we want to bring that organization so that you can achieve from the mentorship, from the role models that is the Center of Excellence has created. And also, the other important thing is we want to support initiatives by Students Guild, of course, and also association to promote awareness about the alumni contribution to the university at large, and also offering talent and support in career development to the students through internships and job opportunities. Most alumni are employers, by the way, I inclusive. So if we have opportunities, we have information, we will be sharing it with the opportunity desk through our admin, and some of this information will come. Please do not spam our emails. In fact, put like make your email important so that we can be able to access most of them. The other thing, the last objective on the strategic plan is to fundraise resources that alumni. So those are some of the key things that we want to look forward to in sharing and engaging with all of you as a team. Now, in doing so, we want to strengthen partnerships and collaborations with the external environments to access funds and resources and opportunities to ensure independence and of the association. I'd like to announce that at this juncture that we have already secured one partnership, which is with the Rose Namayanja Foundation, and they will be sponsoring all our public lectures that we'll be doing as the Alumni Association. We are also discussing through the Office of the Vice Chancellor with them to see if they can give us at least 10, if we know we are looking at 5, but at least 10 postgraduate scholarships, because they're already sponsoring other people, but we want to see how we can get at least 10 or 5 postgraduate scholarships. And I promise you, these scholarships will not be for the executive. They will be open for fair competition and application from the team outside there, of which will be open to these opportunities. Also, that means that as an executive member, as an alumni member, you need to have subscribed. You need to be abreast with the information. I need to be following us on social media platforms and be engaging. Those are some of the selection criteria we'll be looking at. And most importantly, you need to have a vision on where you want to go in furthering the image of our university. We'll also seek financial and technical and social support to equip the skills of our alumni and build their capacity in entrepreneurship, leadership, life skills and vision in the network. A brilliant idea of an innovation hub. Later on, I'm hoping that our project secretary will be given an opportunity, and other executive members. There are ideas that have been brought on table on how to do this, whereby you partner with the university through the alumni. We organize training sessions, practical entrepreneurship skilling, and of course with an advanced certificate offered to you in simplicity. And we're looking to see that these opportunities are fully sponsored, where it is open to the alumni at no cost. And of course, we are working with the team on our website to create an e-learning portal for these extra skills that you can be able to do and learn online without necessarily coming to the university. And also, we want to do, we will be doing benchmarking with other alumni associations to see how best we can better. We are not saying that currently we are the best alumni executive, but we are committed to being the best, and we keep on growing and increasing. So in that learning, we are willing to be teachable and learning, and also to listen to you. So please share with us your suggestions on our Facebook platforms, in the chat box, even beyond this General Assembly. And the other key intervention is to host open events and different other levels. So we're not going to focus on business, academia, and information sharing, skilling, but also we're going to be all round, as the university vision is center of excellence in all levels. So one of the outcomes, the last outcome, is to have a fully funded and facilitated alumni association and smoothly implemented strategy. Now, this is the strategy draft and summary I present to you as our General Assembly, and would request the Speaker to take us through a process where members would be able to raise suggestions and to see if it is adopted or there are issues to raise. If we have amendments, we'll be doing live amendments so that by the time we're done with the session, we are able to launch and fully begin its purpose. Otherwise, I'd like to thank you once again for supporting us, for being with us, and taking time off to be with us in this meeting. And may the good Lord bless you all. Thank you so much.
That is our president, Mr. Wawire Emmanuel. Colleagues, before the DVC Finance and Academics comes in, Mr. Mugawe, I think the IT team should be preparing him. We need to recognize some few colleagues. We recognize Mrs. Agatha Asimwe, Guild Minister of Health and Minister of Education, 1992 to 2002. We recognize you, and she's a lecturer here at the same time. We recognize Mr. Apollo Timugaya, who was here in 2013. Apollo Timugaya is East African Youth Leadership Summit Officer, and at the same time is one of the youngest people that stood for NRM SEC members, the contest, the NRM 2020 NRM SEC contest, as one of the youngest NRM officers. We thank you, Apollo, for always representing Uganda Christian University to the heights. We recognize the presence of Dr. Julius Biaruhanga, a sector coordinator, oil, gas, minerals, and professional services at the Private Sector Foundation, Uganda. We recognize Phil Baitwa, who was a guild president. He's our former guild president, like Mr. Wawira was. We recognize also the presence of Ivan Natetwa, field officer, Kedikov Services Limited. We recognize the presence of Kaziba Moses, who is media personnel at the Parliament of Uganda. Colleagues, if you have more responsibilities that you hold and you need us to recognize you, it helps our fellow alumni connect with you and have better services. Let us welcome Mr. and Dr. Mugawe, our DVC Finance and Academics, and also our patron. Thank you. Finance and Administration. Thank you for the correction. Oboth and Master, they always here, so they have corrected me. That is the finance, is the DVC in charge of finance and administration. Let's welcome Dr. Mugawe.
Yes, good morning. I hope that I can be heard. First of all, thank you for inviting me for this meeting. And it's a pleasure to sit in and listen to all the plans. And, sorry that the internet and the volume and a bit of the online is a struggle. So I did miss quite a bit of the presentation. I hope that in the minutes we'll be able to capture a lot of what he communicated. The good thing is that we had the presentation shared, we were able to follow. So again, good morning. And I do bring apologies from our Vice Chancellor. He had been invited to join us for our AGM, but he had an earlier engagement and he happens to, so he did bring his apologies for not being able to join us. But first of all, I would say as somebody who has been working with the association a number of years now, it's refreshing to see what is now coming together. It's exciting to see the new team and congratulate the new team, all those who have been elected into office. A big congratulations to you. And I was listening to the profiles of each of the members, and the profiles are really exciting, that this is an excellent team that in their term of service should be able to take the association, but also the university to yet another level. So congratulations, and we do look forward to working with you moving forward to ensure that the strategic plan you put together is well implemented. First of all, I would like to give you a bit of a brief on what's going on here at UCU. We are really grateful to God that He has brought us this far. And I'm aware that our fellow institutions of higher learning are struggling through this period. But UCU has been able to move forward. We have been able to complete our semesters online or blended. We have been able to even start a new academic year online. And not many universities have been able to do that. And recently, we had from National Council for Higher Education to come and assess our readiness and also our compliance to the ODEL. ODEL is the online distance e-learning platform. UCU was granted the permission to conduct ODEL classes. We're also given the permission to conduct take-home exams, but we hadn't yet received the permission to conduct online examination. And before that could be granted, National Council did request that we make a presentation of what our online examination is going to be. And they came and vetted us, and we are rejoicing that we have become the first university in Uganda to be granted the permission to conduct online examination. So that is something for us to. We have enjoyed many fasts, and we can't take it for granted. Thank God that we have come this far. An investment that we've made as UCU is an investment in our ICT. We are currently going through an upgrade of our ICT infrastructure. It's going to be boosted 5 times the current capacity. We have procured a number of servers that are being installed currently at the main campus, but also we are creating a backup provision. And so we are also installing another set of servers at Renu. We have also upgraded our switch between UCU and Renu by 10 times the capacity. So we are looking at 5 years from now that our capacity, ICT infrastructure capacity, should be able to take us through the next 5 years. So the hitches that we've been having with online teaching, the hitches that we've been having receiving online exams and also take-home exams should be able to be addressed with this upgrade in our infrastructure. This is something also we celebrate because we've done it in the COVID period. The COVID period has been difficult in terms of revenue. Our revenue has dropped, has also been unpredictable. Previously, with deadlines, our income was structured. And therefore, you plan that in the first week, in the third week, in the 7th week, we'll be able to have a boost in our income, which would allow us program our investments. But this has been difficult over this year. So for us to have been able to put aside over R1 billion to invest into our ICT infrastructure, that is something that we do celebrate. Moving forward as well, we've had an investment with our Kampala campus. We would like to see that Kampala campus is a strategic location, is also a strategic intervention that we have. So we have land there, which is about 2.5 acres. But we thank God that even in the COVID period, we've been able to annex yet another ½ acre. Now, this latest ½ acre actually comes with some structures in it. And that means that we can gradually now move out from a rented property into our own home on the 2.5 acres that now become a total of 3 acres. We have a target that come January 1st, 2022, we'll be able to open up the new campus. Again, that's another blessing. That property was owned by the Medical Research Council, which moved out and went to the Uganda Virus Institute in Entebbe. So that property was offered for sale. There were a number of competitors for it, but the seller wanted an academic institution. And UCU, being in the neighborhood, were given preferential sale offer, and the Lord again provided resources for us to acquire that property. We have not borrowed, but through the provisions of the Lord, we have annexed that. Also, through this period, much as it's been a COVID time, we have been able to maintain our staff team. And the staff team has also been paid on time. However, we are still offering what we call COVID contracts. COVID contracts means that they are shorter in terms of period, but also that we are not able to pay 100% of the contract salaries. We are hoping we're actually getting 100% value from our staff members. So I would like semester that we are closing, we've had a much smoother teaching and learning, that the complaints have been less, and it's also become an enjoyable experience. We've had comments from students to say we prefer staying online. A number of our master's program actually are saying, why don't we continue with our programs online? So the blended approach is going to be an approach that we're going to strengthen. And currently, all the faculty and schools are required to review their curriculum and ensure that they integrate in the curriculum the online, the audio pedagogy into the teaching, so that we can submit our revised curriculum to National Council, that our teaching is going to be blended, and that is officially granted. So faculties and schools are currently going through that exercise to review our curriculum, to embed in there the audio pedagogy that we can be able to teach online. Also, our students have been excited by it, and that's a joy that we have. And as we move forward, we are going to continue to perfect our teaching and learning to ensure that quality and content is not compromised. I would also like to mention that with the advent of COVID, Council did put together a business continuity committee. And the business continuity committee has been looking at how best UCU can re-engineer. How can we come out of COVID stronger as an institution, not come out of COVID when we are hurt, we've been battered, but how do we come out of this COVID situation even stronger as an institution? So the business continuity committee is looking at different aspects of how we do business. And we're looking at our model of doing business to see how efficient and effective we can deliver the service that we promised to our stakeholders. And one of the areas that we did look at is our services. That is our cleaning services, our security services, and also our catering services. And these were outsourced to different service providers. And for those who've had a chance to visit the campus in the recent past, you would see a remarkable change in the beauty of the campus, in the cleanness of the campus. So our presentation as UCU has been greatly enhanced by outsourcing to a team of people who are better experts in offering this service, but also offering the service at a much, much cheaper rate than the model that UCU was executing. So this business continuity is also crossing over to the academic domain. UCU currently has over 90 programs, and we have in the range of 12,000 to 13,000 students. So we are taking those 13,000 students and putting them in program, let me call them pigeonholes, 90 of them. Now, if we compare Makerere, which is by far the largest university that we have, Makerere did cut back on the academic programs to about 70, and they have in the range of 40,000 students. So Makerere is taking 40,000 students and putting them in the range of about 70 programs. UCU, on the other hand, is taking 13,000 students and putting them into 90 programs. Now, as you can see the mathematics there, it is not viable. It is not a good model that we have. We are spreading ourselves very thin on the program side, and that makes it very expensive to implement. National Council will require us on each of those programs to have a certain set of full-timers. And that means you need professors, you need senior lecturers, you need lecturers on each of the 90 programs. Now, for you to service that, it means you need to up your numbers in terms of students, which we don't have. So the academic domain is going through that re-engineering. And they're going through the programs to see where we have duplication. What should be the niche of the faculty? How best can we ensure that our programs are viable, that the programs are able to pay for themselves? And that's an exercise that will get us into the end semester. It will be completed before the close of the year. And that's an area that we'll be able to streamline and harness from the low-lying fruits that we can be able to strengthen who we are. But there's something also that I would like to put on the table of the alumni. And this is the area of short courses, the area of professional courses. You are now out there in the domain where these courses are, where they're needed, where they can be offered. And actually, some of you are experts in the area of short courses and professional courses. UCU is not yet strong in that domain, and we would like to grow our short courses and our professional courses. How can the Alumni Association come on board with us to strengthen that area? We also would like to see that we grow our incubation centers at our campuses, at the main campus, at the regional colleges, and also at Kampala campus. We need incubation to be able to equip our students with hands-on skills, to be able to think outside the box, to be able to harness their expertise, their talents, and their abilities. How can the association work with us to be able to build and strengthen our incubation centers on the university? You are actually at the heart of it, of drawing those incubation centers with us. So within your strategic objectives, within the strategic plans that you're laying out, within the work plans, I would encourage that those two areas are embedded in the work that you're setting out to do. How can you support us? How can you be able to strengthen the university as well? Then finally, we have a resource, which is the square mile in Intao. We would like to see that we harness that resource. Without using it, it's prone to encroachment. It's prone to land grabbers. And you've probably seen this year in, year out, have been struggling with land grabbers. That land is available for us to invest for the university. And the alumni, I think, are strategically positioned to be a resource that can come on board to say, as an alumni association, if you gave us this size of land, we can be able to utilize it in the best interest of the university. So I'm opening your eyes to that dimension. How can you work with us again to invest in our land, 1 square mile in Intao, for the best interest of the university? And finally, I would like to say that as UCU, we would like to commit ourselves to work with you. I did see in the strategic plan, in the SWOT analysis, that the relationship between the association and the university needs to be strengthened and can be better. And I would like to pledge that we'll work with the association executive to see that our relationship is enhanced, that you're able to get quality support from management, quality and timely support from management, so that you're supported in this great initiative. Because as a university, we are as good as our alumni. And secondly, we are as good as our students. If we don't have alumni, if we don't have students, there's no way that Uganda Christian University can exist. If you look at these international universities we celebrate them because of who the alumni of those institutions are and what they have become. So what you are and what you have become is our point of celebration. And therefore, we need you as a cohort to support us in the work that we do. Because when you say, what does UCU produce? You're going to point to alumni. What does UCU do? You point to alumni. When we say, who are the alumni? Or who is so-and-so? You'll add on and say, actually, he's also a UCU alumni. So UCU is what it is because of its alumni. And therefore, we'd like to open our gates to attract you in to see how you can come and contribute and be a partner to this initiative in building UCU as a center of excellence in the heart of Africa. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for making us a part of this initiative. And I look forward to the outcomes and also the strategic direction where, as management, we can plug into those initiatives. With those remarks, I would say I wish you a very successful AGM. May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mugawe, DVC Finance and Administration, for those good points to the alumni of Uganda Christian University. As Dr. Mugawe was talking to us, I noted 3 to 4 things that are very, very, very important, and I would beg to resound them for better emphasis. We thank you, Doctor, and the whole university for the boost of ICT. Doctor said over R1 billion has been put aside to make sure we have the best internet, spotless internet, that will enhance online learning. We thank you, and please kindly thank the Vice Chancellor for that endeavor. We also thank you for the 3 acres that the university has tried to secure. We as the alumni, sometimes we don't know these developments, but we thank you so much for securing that land and premises thereon. We thank you so much for entrusting the alumni to be part of your staff. You stated that the alumni staff have relentlessly given 100%, even when they have not been paid 100%. That is the spirit that we yearn for as the alumni. And colleagues, I encourage you that if you need to join the university, you give the spirit that the Deputy Vice Chancellor has been telling us about. We also thank you for the incubation center. We shall be updating you on how the alumni will grow these centers with the different skills. Colleagues, before I continue to the next item on the agenda, I want to recognize the presence of Mr. Rukundo Benjamin. He's an IT and business consultant, political analyst, and researcher with the Ministry of Health. He was also a Guild Member of Parliament, Faculty of Science and Technology, and also Deputy Minister ICT 2015-2016. I would also want to recognize the presence of the Faraja team. Thank you for giving us spotless internet, and also I would encourage the members to follow the Faraja TV. I would also encourage the members to follow our Twitter handle at UCU_alumni. We are having a live chat on our Twitter. Kindly please chat whatever we are discussing here, and encourage all the others to follow us. I also want to thank Harriet Iraguha in the chats. She has intimated to us that we need to have a cut on our tuition policies as per the alumni that are intending to apply for the postgraduate courses. We shall look into that and engage the university. We cannot promise as of now. Our colleagues, next on the agenda, we were meant to have the Vice Chancellor, but during the speech of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Mugawe, intimated to us that the Vice Chancellor is engaged somewhere. And I think Dr. Mugawe's speech has also eclipsed the speech of the Vice Chancellor. So with that, we shall have to go to the next item on the agenda, and those are presentations. And presentations, we have presentations from the Speaker about the new Constitution. But since I've been here often, I would begin with, I need to begin with a presentation from the Treasurer, Mr. Walter. We call him Uncle, he's our uncle, because most of the people need to see, the alumni need to know how we shall bring in money and also spend this money, and encourage them to source for more avenues of getting income. So Mr. Walter, our Treasurer, I would beg that you post the budget online so that all people can see it as you discuss. And I would also request that you come here for proper viewing. Most of the people know you, but you have since then changed in age and stature. Colleagues, as Mr. Walter prepares to post the budget to us, I would also encourage you to follow us on our Facebook. I would encourage those that have not yet registered with us on our role as alumni of Uganda Christian University to contact Ms. Duffin, our alumni administrator, or if you're around Mukono, you pass by the Secretariat and register and pay subscription. One of the ways how we can finance the association activities is by your subscription. Dr. Mugawe spoke about utilizing a piece of land in Intawo. We encourage all the alumni that have proposals on to pass them on to our project secretary, and they will be weighed and passed on to the university council so that we can give you chance to put these projects onto that land. I think the treasurer is ready. If the treasurer is not yet ready, we cannot joke with a matter of numbers. Let's go to Mr. Mike. Mike told me he's ready. Mike Chirunji has been very instrumental in creating a website. And I think the alumni will be so happy to have the first website and they would want to look at it and probably pass comments about the website and how best we can have it changed and posted onto different sites. Mike, are you ready? Mike Chirunji. You called him? Walter, are you ready? Okay. Colleagues, I need also to inform you that this new leadership opened a website which will be running, and we shall inform you about this website so that you'll have a look at it. This website has a lot of our projects, a lot of who we are, what we are doing, and different updates. So you can always visit it. But in the meantime, as they post the budget, I need you to have a look at Mr. Walter and also listen to him as he takes us through the budget. They are posting the budget. We shall be a little patient. Walter, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I hope my voice is loud and clear. Let me just mount the microphone so I can clearly be heard. I remove the mask, okay. That is me without a mask. As we wait for the budget to be projected, as the finance team, and according to the Constitution does give powers to the Finance Secretary or the Treasurer, Alumni Association, to come up with a team that would work with him on matters regarding finances, on matters regarding disbursement of funds, on matters regarding purchase of things and any other financial related matters. And because of that, I and my team, which has been working in the background, we have developed a document, which document we have called the Alumni Association Finance Manual. And that manual includes several sections. The first section in that manual, if I can remember so well, it includes the members or people who will actually be part of the finance board, and once it's refined, we will also share it with you. But in a nutshell, we are simply trying to say that this document going forward should be able to guide how finances are used, how finances are disbursed, how accountabilities are conducted, and so on and so forth. So we have the procurement processes in there, embedded in there. We also have things like projects embedded in there, and we have a clear guidance on what steps we need to take when we are requisitioning for funds or who approves and so on and so forth. So I don't know whether the technical team has already, okay, perfect. I just wanted to flash that document called the Finance Manual. I may not go into so much detail because it's an 18-page document and it's meant to guide the alumni finance section going forward. So that is one of the developments, that is the budget, but I first of all wanted you to flash the document. There's a document in the attachment that talks about the finance or the finance manual that concerns the finance manual. It should be in the attachments. Okay. you could share it. Okay, I think as the team looks for that document, we just want to inform you that out of the strategic direction that the President shared with us, we broke it down into different activities and different items so as to be able to implement it effectively. So that is the manual. It is really a big document, and it's still under review. And what this manual is going to help us as an alumni association is that it gives clear guidance on all the finance procedures, on all the finance policies. It clearly stipulates the roles and responsibilities of the different members within what I call the finance board of the Alumni Association. So once that document is completed, it's still in its review stages. Once it's completed, we should be able to share it widely and even on our website so that the alumni fraternity can actually follow. But what it generically speaks about is who does what and when do we need to actually requisition, what do we need to budget for, and how are we supposed to implement the strategic direction or strategic objectives that the President already shared with us. So I won't go into the details of this. I've just given a snapshot of what it is about. But in the detail of it, we will share it after it is completed. So I will ask the team to flash the budget. And as I did mention, the budget that will be flashed here is cascaded from the strategic objectives that this association is embarking on from 2021 to 2023. Now, as you look on the PowerPoint or what is presented before you, you will notice that we have the objectives in blue, and every objective has different activities under it. And our budget is drawn from those objectives and the activities under each objective. The first objective deals with mobilization, or to mobilize alumni networks to support the development of the university. So the first objective deals with mobilization, or bringing alumni together, or communicating to them about the intention to come together, put our resources together in order that we can support the institution. And that, under that same objective, we have 5 activities. So that objective carries with it 5 activities. And the first activity that we have under that objective is outreach activities. So we are saying we need to reach out to our alumni, but that comes with a cost implication. And what is the cost implication? The figures you see here are simply projected. They are not actual. But of course, in projecting, we projected realistically with a marginal error that is minimal, that is acceptable. And therefore, we are looking at having 4 outreach activities. And we are saying we need to have these conducted per campus. So every campus will have part of this, the share of this money given to them and the activities that they are supposed to undertake under that same, under that activity outlined clearly for them. So we are projecting 6 million, and for the 4 outreaches that we want to conduct, we are looking at 24 million every year for the 3 years that we are in office. And the second activity, as you can see, we have been running scholarships. And I want to having worked or still working at the financial aid office in the university, I want to thank the Alumni Association for supporting so many of our students, especially those that exhibit some kind of leadership abilities. And to that, the Alumni Association has been, in the past, been able to support so many students through the Professor Stephen and Peggy Knoll Scholarship. And the draft that was written about, or the concept that was written about this proposal requires that we support 12 students, of which each student is to be given 300,000. That is the cap. That is the maximum amount each student gets. And our assumption in projecting is, if we have all the 12 students awarded scholarships, then we need a total of 3.6 every year for us to be able to run that scholarship within a given year. And then we have graduation awards. These are activities that happen every time that we have a graduation. We normally give awards to best performers. And our budget, these are more or less actual, because they are activities that happen every single time, and we know the numbers that benefit from this particular exercise. So literally, we would need 735,000 every time we are conducting that activity or awarding our best performers. And so on and so forth. We have student essay competition writing, which has been happening for now 3 years running. And I know we have so many people who have benefited from the same. And we want at this particular point to thank support that was given by USP. USP supported this particular activity by giving us almost half of the money that we needed to run it. And we want to implore you as our alumni, as our ambassadors, if you have any connections that can actually support part of our activities, you are welcome to partner with us as finance. As the finance board will be working on brainstorming on the different areas in which we can raise resources, we call upon all our alumni to actually contribute, and to contribute ideas, to contribute their networks or to influence their networks to this good cause. Then we have the Alumni Day, which we are projecting that it will demand 5 million. So that is the first objective, members. And I will ask the team to move the slide on the extreme side so that we can see the total that we will need to be able to run that first objective. So an aggregate of 106,305,000 will be needed if we are to run that first objective effectively according to the activities that are flashed before you. May I now ask the team to move the slide on this other side so that we can move to the next objective. And the next objective is to improve publicity of the Alumni Association within and beyond university borders by 2024. You might say that is overambitious, but that is what we want to do as the Alumni Association. And it doesn't take one-man effort, but it takes collective effort. And under this particular objective, we have lined up a number of activities to enable us carry out our publicity move effectively. And we have the first activity as the GEAR Leaders Forum. And I know that once someone graduates from the institution, especially if they have been in a position of leadership, they have a following behind them. Like the president, Mr. Wabwire, and even Mr. Baitwa, who is online, and we want to thank you so much. We want to leverage on your networks in order for us to be able to carry out this function well. So we will be getting to you time and again with a request for you to participate in activities that require you to reach out to your networks. And I know together we can build a strong network. So we have the Guild Leaders Forum, we have quarterly TV shows, and when it comes to running adverts both on TV and also the print media, you will agree with me. And not only that, but also if we are to use influencers, social media influencers, it is quite a heavy expense. And we are saying that we need to run quarterly TV shows. We would have made it more frequent. And I want to thank the institution because now we have a partnership with Next Media. And having a partnership with Next Media, we will see how, as the Alumni Association, we can tag along that partnership in order for us to achieve maximum results, but using the little resources that we have. And we have newspapers, we have alumni elections, we have trainings of guild leaders, we have chapter elections, we have UCU staff alumni forum, we have flyers, brochures, and banners, and all the other visual or information, education, and communication material, IEC materials. And lastly, we have alumni software application. Excuse me. So all these activities, we have an aggregate amount of 90,900,000. Excuse me. If we are to run our publicity campaigns effectively. Let's go to the next objective. Next objective is increased knowledge, employability, and improved livelihood for the students and alumni fraternity by 2024. And we are looking at the Alumni General Assembly, in which we have elections happening. We are looking at leaders' retreats. We are looking at mentorship classes. We are looking at scholarships for alumni. And our president did hint on the alumni scholarships. And under this, we will work together with the project's people to write project proposals for funding of different activities. And I know when we put our heads together in that way, we shall be able to achieve. Excuse me. And let me ask the team to run the slide to the end, run the table to the end. And under that third objective, we need 435 million, over 435 million, to be able to run our campaigns effectively and to be able to achieve our objective effectively as well. And then the last objective is improved efficiency and effectiveness in financial management and accountability excuse me, by 2024. And we are looking at having a system. And previously, while we were having discussions on the same, that is develop an appropriate internal control system, that is a software, we are looking at ways in which, how can we ride on the back of the institution, the university, in order for us to get a better deal. Because if we did it as an association, it would be more expensive. Our projection here will be like a drop in the ocean. We may not be able to get a robust system that will be able to service the works of the Alumni Association appropriately. And I know as time goes, we will engage the university on how we can best ride on their backs for us to develop a better internal control system that will help us run the activities of the Alumni Association well. And lastly, we have the administrative costs. And as you have heard previously, even when the DVC Finance and Administration was addressing us, that the biggest cost goes to the operational expenses. This is where most of the monies go. And for the operational expenses, we are looking at making sure that all our regional offices and also the main office, they are well equipped. And that means that we will have to incur expenses to equip those offices. we need computers, we need cameras if we are to do things like digital storytelling and so on and so forth. Things that in the short term look expensive, but when you look at them in the long run, they are actually cost effective. So discussions are still underway in order for us to make sure that we have an office at every regional campus that is functional, that is well equipped, and that has enough personnel to be able to carry on the operations of the association at the regional level. Then we have the executive meetings, and every committee will have to sit and discuss. And in sitting and discussing, we will need to facilitate those sittings. We will need to facilitate their transport. We will need to facilitate part of their time, if that is what we need to meet as a finance team. So there is facilitation that will be required for every meeting. Whether it is happening at the regional, whether it is happening at the main, we will have to facilitate such meetings. And the third thing is that we have stationaries and repairs. Recently, the institution has been disposing of fleet. Why? Because there's a high cost of repair that is involved in maintaining the transport and all those vehicles and things that are used to carry on operations. And as you know, recently we did an analysis on how we can, yes, have our alumni association function effectively, especially at the secretariat, without involving much, and we had to realize that we needed computers. And at that, I think we secured 2 computers and also a tab to help in running aspects of publicity and so on and so forth. And then we have general expenses and database management. All these things require money. And if you look at the aggregate total of this, the operational expenses, you find we are in over 316 million. Now, when you look at the consolidated totals, every year we would require over 325,000 to run those activities every single year. And that brings us to the aggregate of over 976 million for the activities or for the strategic plan 2021-2023. I want to thank you all who have listened in, and as the finance secretary, we are more than open. We are more than willing to have conversations. We are more than willing to be guided. I know amid ministers we have experts, amid ministers we have people who have courses that are, special courses or professional courses, if I may use that word. We want you to come on board. We want to better the way we run our finances and the way we conduct our business as the Alumni Association, specifically from the finance section. I want to thank all of you, and at this particular point, allow me to hand over to the speaker so he can take us into the next program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Walter. We usually call him Uncle. We want to thank you for those financial projections that you've given to us. We have been reading through the charts, and people have been asking, there is much spending than the incomes that are going to be realized. We have different projects, and that is part of the project office of the Assembly, and he will be discussing to us and telling us more about when it's time for laying down our strategic plan to the alumni. Colleagues, I want to recognize Mr. Asa Tugume is online. We recognize you for attending this General Assembly. We recognize Naiga Diana is a city lawyer, Muzei Vincent, is a city lawyer. We recognize Dennis Wandera. Dennis Wandera has some academic publication resources that is willing to offer to the different alumni, so colleagues, you get in touch with him. We also recognize the fact that has been laid out by Evangeline, who is asking about scholarship funds. I think you have seen that in the budget, so you can look out for how much has been dispensed to take care of the scholarship funds. But we can better all these ideas when you're on board and you keep on engaging us at our secretariat here at the main campus. Without wasting time, our next item on the agenda is presenting to you members the new constitution, and we have reservations that we need to discuss, and you grant us permission as to whether to adopt it, and it becomes a working document with a force of law. Our IT team has projected the constitution, and it's there. That is the constitution that was promulgated by the outgoing executive. We have found it in place, so you will get to know that it was promulgated on 23rd November 2017. So you realize that this document, we want it to begin working, but then before it works, the members have to look through the document and get to know what it is, what our aims, what our objectives, what is missing, what should we delete. And we have tasked Daphne, our administrator, will be sending you this document in your email addresses, and you'll be reading it further because we may not in detail read it to you in this meeting because we have limited time. Colleagues, that is our new constitution, and that is our table of contents. We can go to the preamble. You can scroll down and go to the preamble. Yes, that is our preamble. We, the alumni of Uganda Christian University, we are aware of our common heritage, and we recognize the need for continued mutual support and cooperation. We realize the role we can collectively play in the development policies of our university and influencing our society. We also committed to contribute spiritually, intellectually, morally, materially, and socially to the growth and development of Uganda Christian University. We have not yet adopted this constitution because if you see there is a missing space, because you need to debate about this constitution, we need to seek your ideas and see whether we can incorporate them into this constitution before we can adopt it. You can scroll down. I think the authority and the headquarters, they're not important. We can go to the motto, vision, and the mission. Our motto, of course, is the university motto, Alpha and Omega, go the beginning and the end. Our vision is partnering for an excellent legacy. Then our mission is to foster the well-being, growth, and development of Uganda Christian University and its alumni through partnering with the university and its friends towards catering a lifetime Christian legacy. That is our mission. Those are objectives. You'll be reading through them, but I can highlight most of them. We seek to promote amongst the alumni a spirit of institutional ownership and integrity in and respect for Uganda Christian University. We seek also to generate objective dialogue geared towards enhancing the academic standards and performance, research, community engagement, and institutional development among its members and with the university, to participate in planning and fundraising for the association and the university, initiate development projects aimed at generating income for the association and the university. Then we need also to take interest into governance, administration, and academic interests of the university in a bid to enhance the good image of the university. The university is because we are. If we make a good association, the university will be good. Colleagues, if you look at that constitution as he will be scrolling, I'll be taking you through what we have realized as a committee. We shall not go through the whole document because you and I have limited time, but the following have been recognized as to be missing in that constitution, and we highlight them to you so that you also take part in the discussions when we open up the debate to the floor. But when you read that document and when he scrolls it down, you realize that we need to emphasize on the rights and obligations of the members. That is Article 8. When he goes to 8, you're seeing categories of members. We have associate members, honorary members, we have active members. But when he scrolls down, you can scroll down for the members to see. Yes, continue. When he scrolls down, you will see that there is something missing as to the rights and obligations of the members. So we need to have that article and clause put in. These two, rights and obligations, those lawyer friends of mine will tell you that these are two different things. For example, an obligation to the alumni can be to uphold and observe the provisions of this constitution. Another obligation can be your annual membership contribution to the association. Another obligation can be voluntary contribution and participation in all activities of the association. But the rights can also be, and these are different from obligations. The rights can be the right to vote and be voted for, freedom of speech and expression of opinion, right to inspect the books of accounts, right to participate in the affairs of association. So when in that part of membership, you find that there is something missing, and we shall put it to you that you continue advising us, but we shall also incorporate in before we can adopt that constitution. And also when you have the rights and obligations of members, sometimes it's important to have an article on limitation of members' rights and privileges. Yes, you have the rights and obligations, but to what extent do they extend? We have to put in a clause or an article on limitation of members' rights and privileges. For example, non-payment of membership fee can limit your enjoyment of rights and obligations. Also, when you abrogate any article of the Constitution, it can be also a ground for limitation of your rights. When you look at the Constitution as is, you will also realize that the people that reviewed the old Constitution and came out with this working document failed to consider something that we have considered as a committee called the management of the association. And that clause necessitates us to have a clause to the effect that affairs of the association shall be run by a duly elected management, which shall comprise of the executive member and a body of regional representatives who shall comprise the outreach committee. You heard the finance or the treasurer speaking about the outreach committee, the outreaches that will be that we shall be holding as an association. So we need to specifically have an article and a clause on management of the association, which is spearheaded by the executive. Then when you look at Article 10, Article 10, okay. When you look at Article 10, that is on the executive committee. When you look at the committee, the chairperson, the vice chairperson, in there, we need to have general provisions as to the functions of the executive committee. You may realize that we have, this constitution gives people the executive functions that they hold in regards to this document. But then the lawyers will also agree with me that there are what we call general provisions and specific provisions. So we need a general provision on the functions of the committee. For example, the executive committee can have a general provision as to conduct the affairs of the association. That is very, very general. Then to seek means of generating revenue, sanction expenditure and ensure the keeping of books of accounts, then frame regulations for carrying out the association functions. But also specific provisions can be in regards to the chairperson, vice chairperson, general secretary. So what is provided here in this document that you are seeing posted online is what we call the specific provisions as to the functions of each office. So we need the general ones. What should the executive do generally? Then when you go to Article 12 on meetings, when they scroll down, you will see meetings there. Meetings of the assembly. That is the general, that is in law we call it the title. But we need to have a subtitle, procedure of holding meetings, probably procedure at meetings and not meetings of the assembly. That is so general. So under meetings of the assembly, we can have a subtitle, procedure at meetings or procedure of holding meetings. Then we can have things like notices of the meeting. So we realize that is also missing. But also when you look at Article 12:20, Article 12, Clause 20. Clause 20, you go down. On quorum, you go quorum, yes. When you read 20, it says, the quorum at all annual general meetings shall be a minimum of 50 active alumni assembly members present. And already we are, I think by the time I looked at it, we were already 83 or 85. But you see, this is not the only meeting that we are holding. So every meeting up there, you can have a special meeting, you can have an executive meeting, you will have an annual general meeting. So this provision only speaks about the quorum at annual general meetings. It does not include other meetings. For example, if we are holding a special meeting, how many people should be there? If we are holding an executive meeting, how many people should be there? So in that part of quorum, we need also to include other meetings and the minimum people that should attend, so as to not be left in the ambiguity. Also, we need who are the active members? The active members, you realize that this whole constitution, also to take you back, this whole constitution, we don't have what we call the definition section. We need to define who active members are, and sometimes most of the constitutions define active members as paid up members and not active only. Yeah? It is better also for 1/2 of the paid up members to be included in the other meetings that we shall be holding. So we need quorum at executive meetings. It is not stated, but we can have 2/3. I could propose 2/3. Then also, when you look at the article on meetings, we have quorum, we have decisions, we have voting, but we're missing a clause probably, which is very important in such meetings, a clause of minutes. So we can have a clause on meeting minutes. How do we do what? Communicate these minutes to the people that have attended. For example, if you look at most of the constitutions, have minutes of all meetings shall be posted to the association's main site to be hosted at the website. For example, here we need to have that clause that entitles the administrator to have the general secretary to post those minutes to the website so that all the alumni can view the minutes even when they did not attend the meeting, the annual general meeting. Then scroll down, we have elections and Yes, elections, there's no problem. We have the Electoral Commission, and you all know. But at the end, when you go at the end of this document, there are things that I need to maybe point out for the members to see. Take it to the end. Okay. The people that drafted this constitution, okay, go up. Okay, up. Okay. You can end there. Colleagues, you may realize that the people that drafted this constitution did not put in very important things at the end. For example, amendment. If we wanted to amend this constitution, how would we amend it? We don't have a clause on amendment of the constitution. We don't have a clause on a very important clause also on auditors. You people, we have presented a budget to you, but you don't know who must audit us. So we need also a clause somewhere in the constitution on auditors. We need a clause on legal force. When does this constitution attain legal force? Is it after execution or after adoption? So those are the things that we need also to include in there. We do not have a clause on jurisdiction. Somebody asked in our chats, does alumni only concern East Africa? No, we are worldwide. So we need also to have a clause in this constitution to deal with jurisdiction. We need to have a clause on disputes and also how to handle these disputes. If there were disputes that arose, for example, you want to terminate somebody's membership or in the association, how should such a dispute be handled? So we need a clause on dispute resolution. Then we shall also need a clause on dissolution. Sometimes you may have this constitution run, but what if you want to dissolve it? How do you deal with dissolution of such a document? So those are the important things that we pointed out as the executive members, and we still point out to you so that you ponder on them and then get back to us. I would also encourage that we also give time to this document and have a constitutional review committee to widely review this constitution before we put it to the members and we allow it to work. In the meantime, we are using the old constitution. Some people may ask, so what are you using? We are using the old constitution as we review this. We shall have to communicate to you about the review committee, and then all people will put in their ideas as to the amendment of this constitution. Colleagues, when we are dealing with the constitution, I will also request and put it to the members that we have our association registered. Right now, there is no way, all of us know that in law you cannot hold property, you cannot contract if you're not a legal entity. So there is a challenge that we are missing out, and as the speaker, I thought it wise that we give our association legal force and it becomes a legal entity. We are seeking also to register it. We can register it as a company limited by guarantee, but under supervision of the university and the university council, so that you all know that if somebody has an offense under this constitution, this is how it will be treated. If the association has property, this is property of the association under supervision of the university. If the decisions that are being taken, these decisions are taken independently as an association. So I would also put it to you that we need to register this association as a company limited by guarantee, so that if we are even applying for a grant, we are applying for a loan, we apply it as the association and not the university. Because you may also know that you cannot apply for a loan when you are not existing legally. So one of our objectives also is to have this association of ours registered. We put it to you for advice, and we shall continue to fetch in more pieces of advice in our chats, in our website, in our emails, and all avenues. Colleagues, without wasting a lot of time, I think those are the few things that we have pointed out that need to be changed in our constitution. And if we do that, then the alumni can be strengthened, the alumni association can be strengthened, and shall have a voice to the whole world. Without wasting time, I ask that I end here and invite our next discussant, and that is the publicity secretary, to present to us the new formulated website. I don't know whether Mike is on. Mike Chirunji. Mike Chirunji is not on. Is on. Okay, as they connect, as our IT team connects to Mike Chirunji, we need also to inform you that we have formulated a website. It's so good to look at, but we know amidst us, there are different people with different preferences, and they would want to look at it and advise us how better we can put it for easy posting. So the person to take us through that is Mike Chirunji. Some of our members were asking how subscription is paid and how much is paid. I'm well informed that subscription is 30,000 annually, and if you want to pay it, you get in touch with Daphne, our administrator. She will tell you how best you can pay that money. We also task you, as we wait for Mike, we also task you to always put us on notice if there is any accountability discrepancy and if there is anything you want to know. But we also encourage you to positively criticize and not usually negatively criticize, because it puts the image of our university at stake, and yet we are the ambassadors of this university. Honorable Philip Baitwa has also asked us as to whether there is a forum for the past guild presidents. Honorable Philip, I thank you for that. I can see Honorable Priska is on. Honorable Wawire Emmanuel is on. So you can begin from there and have a forum. But as of now, I really don't know if we have any forum that brings together the past presidents. The IT team is trying to connect the website to you people. Okay, Mike Chirunji has decided to extend to us a person who designed this website, because there are questions you may ask Mike and he does not know. As a lawyer, we have an IT person that designed. So we can have him here come and present the website to us. The website designer, please come forward.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Nixon. All right. My name is Nixon Kamagesha. I work with University ICT Services, that is UIS, and I'm part of the team that is working on the Alumni website. It is under development, but we have made sure that we include most of the features and the design requirements that the Alumni Secretariat gave to us. And at the moment, we are over 70% in the designs and restructuring. And we have, however, pointed it to be working on the university domain name, which is ucu.ac.ug, and the alumni website will be having a link, which is alumni.ucu.ac.ug. And this is going to be hosted on our faster servers that can be accessed globally. So the alumni that are in different countries, they are able to visit the website, and the loading speed will be a normal speed because we do monitoring and evaluation of our systems in UIS. And because, like the way the Vice Chancellor said, we have the best capacity equipment in UIS, where the alumni website is going to be hosted and to be able to reach elsewhere. We have tried to incorporate social media integration onto the website, and the website is having the common or the social media platforms that the alumni is using. And besides that, there is a new feature we have implemented in order to ease the publicity of your information. In case someone, the publicity team posts an article or any information onto the website, it will automatically saturate or populate the same content to all social media platforms in 0 seconds. So you do not need to go again and you post the information on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. It will be automated. And then we also want to help the publicity team to connect the social media platforms so that they are working hand in hand, the likes of Facebook and Twitter, then with Instagram, because it is one family that is under Facebook, and we want to make sure that the integration is successful. Then in the designs of the website, we made sure that we consider the UCU corporate colors, and that's how it looks. And the website is having the same image and the looks of our university main website. And I believe by the time we complete it, it will be a robust and a very nice looking website. And by the time we finish, maybe the alumni team will be able to launch it. And once it is launched, we shall be glad, and we are still welcoming your views, suggestions, and ideas, such that we can improve it in the way you want it. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Nixon. But before we leave the website, probably we can show to the members the website. Let's go back. Colleagues, when you go to this website, there is what we call home. So if you go click on home, people may think we are presenting something that does not work. So colleagues, it works. We have home, about us. When you go, you can read more about us and the board members and the activities. We are sampling one so that you see that it works. As the Nixon said, we are still doing a lot on this website, and the first thing is to improve the images that have been posted. I think the best image there is for the president, and I would encourage the president and Eliab. I can see Mikey's image. Mikey's photo is also okay, or both. It's also fine. Reverend's is okay. I think also mine is also fine. For the ladies, at least they tried all of them, because those ones have really no static way of dressing. So they all tried, but we are still improving on our images and photos that will be posted there. Let's go to benefits. Let's see the benefits. So those are the benefits of being part of this association, and there are very many, but there are other things. Everything we have discussed here, we shall post it on the website. For example, the constitution to be reviewed shall be posted. Uncle Walter also promised to post the budget, because you all need to look at it. There are things that are missing there that we discussed, and we bring it to you that we shall include them on the website. For example, something to do with projects, we shall include that there. Careers, I think, and development, something like that. We shall also include it there. But you need to also bear with us that within the shortest time possible, we have tried to pull up these achievements. And so this whole thing is under review. The best shall be presented to you, I think, in the next few days from now. Without wasting time, the next item on the agenda is the president giving to us a detailed strategic plan. The president? Oh, he finished. Oh, thank you. The president finished giving a strategic plan to us. Colleagues, I think right now we are opening this discussion to the different alumni that have attended online, to listen to your views, to listen to your interactions. And at this moment, I will also encourage the alumni executive members to also probably take this chance to talk to us so that we save time at once. So I will beg the ICT team to monitor whoever raises up their hands so that they unmute such a person to speak to us. So colleagues, the debate is open to you. You can also get involved into this discussion. Thank you. Can we have people give us ideas? Vianney, you don't have anything to say to us? You already sent what you wanted to. Okay. Let's follow what is in the chat room and see. There are some hands raised. Okay, you can give chance to those that have raised their hands to say something.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, you can talk.
Okay, I'm Mukizi Magendo from DR Congo. So happy to join this meeting.
His volume is low.
No.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I was saying I'm so happy. I'm Mukizi Magendo from DR Congo, a UCU alumni. I'm so happy to join this meeting for alumni. I was suggesting also you can plan for us who are in Congo, like outside Uganda, to think out how we can organize ourselves so that we can be joining this meeting for UCU alumni. I think our record is not recognized from university, but for us also we could be happy to be recognized among you people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we have another one? I think I'm seeing somebody who has raised his hand.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yes, we can.
Yes, okay. My name is Emmanuel. My issue on the Constitution is Article chapter 9, Section C, where it was specifying about the mandate of the executive to appoint any other members outside, any other member apart from an associate alumni. And I was of a view that these rules should be specified because at times they may infringe on our rights. The chairperson may go beyond his limit and appoint somebody to a position that may not be in order to the party constitution. Secondly, on the university website, I suggested that the Uganda Christian University website should be different from ours because it looks similar with that. Ours should have Uganda Christian Alumni, not Uganda Christian University, because somebody may go there and think it is a university website. So we should differentiate that. Thank you.
Can we have another? Your own, please talk to us. Benjamin Rukundo, talk to us. Rukundo, your network is so bad. Can we take another one? Can we take another? Okay, Ahumza John Vianney is asking, when did you last present audited accounts to association members in the General Assembly Since you are in your second term, for Finance Secretary, this goes to Uncle Walter. Then he also has a question. When was the outgoing executive dissolved and how, without a General Assembly, as per the provision of our present Constitution? This is to the General Secretary. I think you're noting these. Vianney has a question on finance and also a question on outgoing committee. Okay, can we have another one? Yes, Rukundo is back. Paul Kato, yes. Yes? Yes, we can.
To our own association and to Uganda Christian University as large. So that is my concern. Thank you very much for this organization. Thank you.
I think the administrator, that is Daphne, has taken note. So whenever we have a career guidance week, we should give space to the alumni and priority. Thank you for putting that up. Okay, we also noted chapter 9. Emmanuel told us about to be so critical on who we appoint. Even when we have the powers, who do you bring on board as an office bearer? Thank you, Emmanuel. We take note of that. A colleague of ours from DR Congo has also asked us how best they can organize as alumni those ends. I think that goes to your docket. She has also noted and she's taking part. She's taking note of that. Okay, can we have, I think I saw Paul Kato.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. My name once again is Paul Kato. I do environmental engineering at UCU Mukono campus between 2012 to 2016. Thank you for this innovation and thank you for such digital innovations during this pandemic. And they're engaging us as alumni all together, and I'm great. So I would like to appreciate some of the ideas that have been shared and add on a few encouragements. Number one, digital arrangements in the Constitution. Can we allow for digital arrangements such as voting, such as webinars, then the AGM and with such that we can all access them electronically. Even flyers, I think, brochures, we can see how to have them electronically. The vision, I would have loved the vision for the review committee. Maybe we shall engage the review committee if it can have a time limit. If we are, for example, transforming about 3,000 of alumni, maybe from into a middle income status, can we define it by 2026, such that it is attainable in a short period of time? Then for subscription, can we exclude members who are above 70 years old? When we consider Bishop Tucker days, people who have retired, I think, might not be having that amount to subscribe. Then I looked through the guild trainings during the budget and other guild considerations. I hope we are considering all campuses, including Arua, Kavale, Kampala, and Bale campuses, not just only the main campus. Then I would also love that we as executives, since I'm also part of it, we can also organize tours to regional campuses all together, all of them, and we meet them, we have an interaction with them. Thank you so much.
Okay, Paul, you're done? Paul? Okay. So Paul has raised very important issues, like exclude members from subscription. I think that is okay. No, not only those that are overaged, but also those that have achieved what others have not achieved. For example, you may have an Olympic gold winner. You're not going to still tell him to pay the 30,000. So those, we can actually recognize them to have lifetime membership to the alumni. But also Paul raises something very important that we shall also pass to the review committee, electronic voting and electronic meetings. These were not foreseen by the people that drafted this constitution. So he's proposing that we need to include things to do with electronic voting and electronic meetings now that we are times of online discussions and participations because of COVID. So we take note of that, Paul. Thank you very much. Can we have another one? Meanwhile, if you cannot talk to us, get to us in the chat section. We can always read your comments and we can always answer them. There is Vianney. Vianney, you asked, when was the old executive dissolved? I think upon the swearing in of the new executive. And we wouldn't meet the old executive because most of them were engaged, and because of COVID, there were restrictions. So we were working in exceptions. When did you last present audited books to the association? I think Uncle Walter is there within a minute, can come and talk to us. We don't want anyone to feel that we have skipped.
Thank you so much, members. Thank you so much, Mr. Vian, for bringing up that very pertinent issue. And I want to assure the members that the frameworks that we have put in place are meant to change the way we approach our finances. And one thing is that the manual that you saw, which was shared, and which will also be shared on the alumni website, will address all those gaps. We've had a lot of gaps in the previous, and I am thankful to the current government that most of those gaps are actually being filled. And finance is now being given the powers, according to the Constitution, to act accordingly. I want to answer the member who asked about audited books of account, that I am working on it. We are putting together our records, we are putting together our financial report, and the audited books of accounts should be ready latest 2 months from today. So hold us accountable, and it will be posted on the alumni website. Thank you so much, and thank you for that concern.
Thank you, Uncle. There is no better way to explain it than you have done so. I'm seeing Apollo Timugaya. Let's give him a chance.
Thank you so much, my brother Council Tony. I would like to thank, to appreciate the role that you guys have played. You, the executive of UCU Alumni Association, beginning with the chairman Emmanuel Wawile, you, brother Tony, and the entire executive. I am so much happy that you have brought us back to life of the Center of Excellence in the heart of Africa. I saw my brother Walter, who used to allocate the fund very well to the needy students, and I will never cease to appreciate his role. I will begin with the quote of Chinua Achebe in his famous book Things Fall Apart, that a man who calls his brothers for a feast does not do so in order to save them from starvation. That also a person who calls his brothers to gather around the moonlight in the village ground does not entirely do so because every man cannot see the moon in their own compound. But it is good that it is good for kinsmen to come together. For if they don't come together, then things fall apart. Now, when you bring us together, we come here to close our fingers together to come up with solutions for certain challenges and problems that hamper our lives in day-to-day life. One particular matter I would like to tackle is the support. I have a feeling that the Alumni Association should reach out and accord some support to the members of the Alumni Association in all the aspects of life, especially in the political aspect. For that will promote leadership of the members of association. For example, last time when I stood for SEC, maybe if I'm to remind you guys, they already introduced me. I am the former NRM SEC aspirant. I've also been a Ugandan coordinator at the East African Youth Leadership Summit 2017-2018. I was also a member of the Guild government at UCU, representing the Department of Public Administration and Management in 2012-2013 Guild government. When I stood for SEC, my former family of ULEAD in Arusha, they shared the message. They lobbied for me support. They mobilized for me. And I felt so touched and emotional. I really had a strong sense of belonging to them. I felt so at home. I was very happy. They mobilized for me. They released messages. They mobilized for me. And I surely felt that I belong to a very important association. In the same spirit, I know one challenge that could be there, UCU, for example, does not subscribe to partisan politics. But since this association is dealing with people who are outside the UCU campus, I would suggest that they also have a certain amount of support that is allocated for the people who stand for higher political positions. For example, if someone is contesting for a parliamentary position and has been nominated through party primaries and is contesting during for general election to go to parliament, I think if that person is a member of our association, the person needs some support. The support could be financial, but if also not financial, then the support could be in terms of material, could be in terms of sharing messages for mobilization and selling the person the more to the electorate. That is my feeling. I feel members of our association need to be supported politically. For that, will promote leadership, for members to uplift their potential. I thank you so much.
So let it be that all those 65 and above who are willing to pay and those 65 and above unable be exempted. Thank you. We shall look into that. That is a matter of constitutional review. Uncle Walter spoke about audited books of accounts, and I think that is one of the reasons why we need to register this association, because you don't expect Uncle Walter getting finances from the university and at the same time the university giving him auditors to audit him. He will need to look, the association will need to look for independent auditors that can sit down and audit his office. So that calls also independence in the financial sector. Okay, can we have another one? Can we have another one? If there are no hands, we shall close this, because whatever you've been discussing, those are action points and resolutions. We need to encourage you that even when the General Assembly ends, we have not ended receiving your deliberations. Our website is open, our WhatsApp is open, our Facebook and Twitter are all open. I would encourage you to send in your views so that we deliberate on them more. If there are any developments, we shall always inform you. If there are any offices where we need people to be appointed, we shall be open as much as possible so that you yourselves nominate people. I can give an example. If we want to review the Constitution, we cannot sit back as a committee and choose people that we think. You might be having very important people with much knowledge about constitutional drafting that can help us achieve the goal. So we encourage you to interact with us, pass by our secretariat as and when you are here. Kindly post something good every day about UCU on our Twitter. Follow us and always retweet what we tweet, because what we tweet is always in the best interest of the association. With that, I will ask Reverend Moses again to close with a prayer. Apple, before we close, sorry. Did you get my submission, friends, or the network killed everything? No, Apollo, we got your submission to the effect that you want support in your political field. And we said the position that you had at the beginning, that UCU does not allow political engagements, political party engagements, that is the position within campus. But as the alumni, when you go out there, you're allowed to have your own party. So we shall always, whether you're People Power, whether you're NRM, FDC, DP, for us, you still remain part of this family. We shall always support whoever comes up. The first important thing is grant you prayers. The other, we shall look into our pockets, probably personally, at individual basis and levels, but also as to the alumni giving you a financial hand, that we leave it to the treasurer because we do not know the financial implication. So you can always bring in your proposal and post it to the treasurer. He can always weigh it in the best interest of the association. Okay, let's have Reverend. Okay, before we close, I think we can give the patron chance to have closing remarks. That is Mr. Mugawe, the DVC Academics and Administration. Oh, Finance and Administration. Sorry. Is not on? Okay. If it's not on, colleagues, I need to thank you for all the time you have spent with us, over 2 hours, listening to us. Those that have traveled to Uganda Christian University, may you be blessed so much. Those that have attended online on your own mobile data, we thank you for the sacrifice. We thank those that have deliberated with us, and we thank those that have been long-time friends, and we have seen them today. As I began, and I still hold as I close, that if we are to destroy Uganda Christian University, let's destroy by building it and rebuilding it, and also keep a better image of our university in our different offices that we hold. Thank you so much. I ask Reverend Moses Senyonyi to close with a prayer. Thank you.
Welcome. I think I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are.
Thank you, members, for everything, and we thank God. We did pray from the beginning, and we've seen God through this. We thank you for participating. We thank you, and we congratulate the team Business Unusual. So let us receive this the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord that surpasses human understanding keep watch over all of us wherever we are, and may the blessing of God Almighty, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit be with each one of you, guide our association, be with our mother university, UCU. May the blessing of God Almighty see us through all that we have discussed. May it guide us in implementation. And may this blessing meet us at our points of need as we depart from the meeting. May the blessing of God stay with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen. Colleagues, enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy the weekend till we catch up again. Thank you. I know.